something this month that literally blows my mind. I'd not heard about this. If you've been hit in a crash and you're not at fault, you could be entitled to cash, money, to compensate you for the difference between what your car was worth before and then after the accident. It's called diminished value, but hang on, that's not all I uncovered. Local experts show me the flaws they find in already repaired vehicles that are sent back out onto the street.
We'll do a walk around, a visual inspection on the cars.
Robert Grieve does a lot more than repair vehicles at his shop in Inglewood.
This caught my eye.
Nyland's Collision Center also does post-repair inspections.
The bumper doesn't line up correctly. That's indicative of something.
He's seen a lot in his 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
Something small usually leads to much bigger safety concerns.
This has too many spot welds in some places and not enough spot welds in other places. And this welds onto the frame rails.
This car was rear-ended and repaired through insurance at another shop.
The frame is still bent. The frame is over 6 millimeters, both rails. So they welded this rear body panel on the frame rails that aren't where they're supposed to be.
The customer's daughter drove the car up from Grand Junction to get the work checked out. Is this compromising the safety of anybody in this car?
It's compromising the safety of everybody in the car.
It's not uncommon for us to do an inspection on a vehicle and find so many concerns that the shop that repaired the vehicle either ends up buying it back or the insurance company declares it a total loss.
John Gerlach works for Auto Damage Experts.
If you're looking at buying two vehicles and they're side by side, they're exactly the same options, same mileage. The only difference is one's been involved in an accident, one has not. No consumer is going to pay the same amount of money for the one that's been in the accident.
He specializes in diminished value claims, recovering the loss of market value on a vehicle that's been in a crash that wasn't the driver's fault.
Typical diminished value is going to be between 10 and 30% of the pre-loss value of that vehicle, $3,000 to $9,000 on a $30,000 vehicle.
That's a big chunk of money.
It is.
Here's a recent claim Gerlach settled on a Dodge Ram. The value before the crash, just over $34,000. Repairs topped out at more than $12,000, so the owner got $7,628.50 for the diminished value of the truck. But to get that, the repairs have to be done right. And a lot of the time, these experts say they're not.
80% of the vehicles we reinspect, we find remaining issues. 20% of them are safety related.
And in that statement from the manufacturer on how to do a specific thing, it never says in there, or ask your insurance adjuster. It says, do it this way.
Grieve's shop doesn't have contracts with insurance companies. He says shops that do may feel obligated to use aftermarket parts or cut corners to keep the cost down. It's the same reason most of us have never heard about diminished value.
They're not interested in paying out more money.
And John tells me that most insurance companies won't admit to more than 10% of diminished value when drivers try to file these cases on their own, and that's why it might be a good idea. Just get a consultation, ask an attorney or an agency that specializes in this to see if it's beneficial for you to pursue this.
Yikes. That's what we call an eye-opener in the business.
Right?
So what insurance companies are we talking about, and do they ever go to court?
Well, sometimes, and we're talking like State Farm, Geico, Allstate,
All the-
Progressive, you name it, any of these. And the experts tell me that the vast majority of cases do settle without litigation. They're saying like 95% or so, but depending on the company, it can take 30 days or more to process these claims. They're going to drag it out. Sometimes you got to stick with it.
I'm glad you work here. All right, now to a story out of downtown Denver today. The bomb squad was called out.